All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today in Waterbury. And we are here to announce all of the budget items that were contained in the state budget that benefit Waterbury. We're here because we want to highlight investments that the state of Connecticut is making in Waterbury. And so I'm very proud to be here with the Board of Aldermen President Paul Penarewski and with Representative Ron Napoli, who is here on behalf of the entire Waterbury delegation. And here is what we're very proud of. We had a bipartisan budget. It was bipartisan in a way that I have never seen in Hartford. 35 out of 36 senators voted in favor of it, as did, there was a similar very good vote in the House of Representatives that was very bipartisan. Why was it bipartisan? I think it was bipartisan because there were key investments in education, in special education, in gun violence prevention, in hospitals and federally qualified health centers, in housing, and in municipal aid for our towns. Also, it was bipartisan because this budget includes the biggest tax cut in the history of our state's income tax, which has been in existence for more than 30 years. And our budget reduced the state income tax rate by lowering the 5% rate to 4.5% and the 3% rate to 2% for 2024, and this is huge. This is going to help nearly 60% of the tax filers in our state. More than 1 million tax filers will benefit, and 82% of the tax cut benefit is going to go to those families making less than $150,000. So this tax cut benefits the people who need it the most. Also, we've been able to increase the earned income tax credit to above what the federal government provides. So we've increased it from 30.5% to 40%. And this is going to help 211,000 tax filers, many of them right here in Waterbury. We thought expanding the earned income tax credit was critical to helping working families, especially those that are struggling. So overall, these tax cuts are going to save our taxpayers more than $460 million a year. And at the same time that we've cut taxes, we've made huge investments in our schools, and we've invested in special education funding. Now, I just want to highlight some of the benefits that our budget gives to the city of Waterbury. And the city of Waterbury gets those benefits because of the very strong advocacy of the Waterbury legislative delegation. So first of all, I'll start with the fact that Waterbury had a 7.14% increase in funding over last year, and this is something that's very important to Waterbury, and you'll hear more, but Waterbury has received funding to remediate blighted properties. We have been investing state bond money in brownfield remediation, but this budget contains more money, and Representative Napoli's going to talk about that. We've continued to our subsidy to keep the car tax at a reduced mill rate. So that's important for the people of Waterbury. Also, we've invested $5.2 million in the Pilot Plus program. We've invested $20 million in accelerated educational cost sharing money for the Waterbury Public Schools. Representative Napoli is going to talk about why that's important. Also, we've invested $1 million in public safety for the Waterbury Police Department. We have supported some nonprofits like the YMCA, and we've invested in the Time to Own program so that more people can buy their own homes in Waterbury, and we've provided funding for an e-bike voucher program in Waterbury as well. So with that, it is my pleasure to introduce the President of the Board of Aldermen, Paul Penrusky.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I just want to say we're very pleased with the state budget here in the city of Waterbury. I think the budget overall is good for cities. A lot of the general cuts, the income tax cut, the increase in the earned tax credit, the housing money, criminal justice reforms, transportation, education, all of those things will generally benefit cities like Waterbury, and we're very pleased. So thank you for all the work that you've done, and I know Representative Napoli is here, and the entire Waterbury delegation who goes up to Hartford and works very hard on our behalf. Representative Digio Von Carlo, also my colleague on the Board of Aldermen, is here. Alderwoman Belinda Weaver as well. All worked very hard on behalf of the people of Waterbury to put this together, and the fact that it was a bipartisan budget comes together just shows the work that was done and the compromises that were made to get this done. There are certain things, as the Lieutenant Governor had mentioned, that are particularly important to Waterbury. The increased pilot grant is going to help us out immensely, bringing it to nearly $10 million in the upcoming fiscal year. The increase in the educational cost-sharing grant, which is going to increase by $7.8 million in this fiscal year, and then an additional $17.6 million in the following fiscal year. That's important because cities like Waterbury have been so long underfunded on the educational cost-sharing grant, and I know Mayor O'Leary and our delegation have worked very hard to see that that was brought to parity, and this budget is finally, these will get us there, so it's very important to the city that we get that there and get to the full funding. We're also thankful for the continued commitment to the motor vehicle mill rate. As you know, with the cap on the motor vehicle mill rate is very important, especially in a city like Waterbury, where all of our taxpayers are really affected by the car tax. So keeping that low for the upcoming fiscal year is of a great benefit to us. There's over $7 million that's coming to the state, from the state, for municipal grants and aid, for LoCIP, for town aids to roads, which are going to assist with much needed capital projects here in the city so that we can continue to invest in our infrastructure, including the things that are most important to people that we hear about wherever we go in the city, which is the milling and paving of roads and the construction of sidewalks. That's like the universal issue everywhere you go in Waterbury, no matter which neighborhood you're in. The public safety money, the additional resources for the YMCA to address our young people, all of these things are so beneficial to the city of Waterbury. We appreciate this budget. We look forward to continuing to work on it, and we thank you all for your hard work in making this possible. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul. And now I'll bring up State Representative Ron Napoli speaking on behalf of the Waterbury delegation.
Thank you very much for being here. And we had a very good budget this year. This was a very good win for Waterbury. We had a lot of successes. And first of all, working hard to get the ECS dollars back to Waterbury will make a huge impact on our school system. Also, the Pilot Plus program was something that was a good example of what happens when local leaders and state leaders come together. And Mayor O'Leary and President Penrusky made multiple trips to Hartford to advocate for that additional $5.2 million. And that's going to help out immensely the people of Waterbury. And again, this was a very good process. The city did very well under the Lamont Bysiewics administration. We're very happy with this, and we look forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you.
Great. All right. Well, we so appreciate the media coming today, and we're happy to answer any questions that any of our media partners might have. All right. Well, we really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for coming.